The question of the day is, for the final episode, can I get the intro down first try? Welcome back to Life of Birch. This is Birch, and welcome to the final episode of the Wrecked Rebel Rebuild series, the series where I decided to buy this Wrecked Rebel 500, build it back to better than its former glory, and give it away to one of you guys. As the bike sits, we are 99% done, and we just have 2 more things left to do to it until we are completely finished, and then I'm finally going to tell you exactly how you can win this bike.
Perfect.
That wasn't bad for a one-take wonder, right? Tripped over my words a little bit, you guys probably didn't even notice, and I probably would have gone back and redone it a couple times in search of perfection, but remember, don't let great get in the way of good. And there's your daily motivation. Alright, so what do we have left to do to this thing? Really, the main thing that we gotta do is just the mirror flip. If you guys remember in the last video, I was trying to put the mirrors on and it wasn't really working, and I was talking about these spacers that were giving me issues. Well, I think I've resolved it. Oh, and actually, you know what? Before I talk about that, let's talk about what we've done since the last time that you guys saw the bike. Like I said, we were going in for the 600-mile service and the throttle cables, and that is complete. So if you look up here, we got these shiny new throttle cables looking so good, much better than the scuffed ones that were on there before, and it's working oh so nice. Very little play, good to go there, and the 600-mile service is done for the new owner. Alright, now what was I talking about with these spacers on the mirror flips? I will show you right now. And first things first, shout out to Tanner, one of my Patreon members, longtime supporter. He actually sent me this mirror flip kit because he had it, decided he wasn't going to use it, and decided that he would donate it to the cause because the Patreon members decided on the mirror flip. You the man, I appreciate it. He also sent in some parts for Nina's bike that she's going to be putting on, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so essentially the mirror flip has these brackets that attach right here, and it uses these longer bolts to do so, and you have these spacers that you need that go in front right here. Well, the issue is that these spacers, before I ground down this side, they were this size all around, and I don't know if you can tell, but they wouldn't fit in that little recessed part, and I didn't want them to be at like a wonky angle or anything. I don't know, I guess other people just have it not sitting flush or something, but I decided to take the time, and I took my little Dremel and just kind of Dremeled it at an angle there so it should slide into place real nice. So we're going to try that right now. Alright, so these are just a 5mm Allen key to 5mm Allen key to take that off. I use freaking Hulk strength on that one. And shout out to Sean, one of my other Patreon members, who actually sent me this Allen key set because he saw that mine were rusty and dusty and crusty and old, so I appreciate that too. Freaking love my Patreon members, dude. Alright, so you'll see the spacer is meant to go here, but the flat side is just too big to go into that recess opening. But now that I shaved it down some, it should fit right in there so that now this other side can sit flush with the bracket. So I'm very pleased with that. Alright, so we'll take the left side bracket right here, and you can see that the way the brackets work, I lied, that is the right side bracket. Like I said, left side bracket. So it goes on just like that, and then this bracket comes under here, and then the mirror attaches right there and comes down. Lots of people do it because they say that when they move the mirrors from here to under the bars, their shoulders aren't in the way and they can see behind them better. Other people just do it because it looks better. I'm interested to see because I've never ridden with flip mirrors before, so we'll see if it actually makes that big of a difference. But yeah, so it just goes on like that with the spacer in between, and it looks like shaving it down the way that I did should work perfect. Alright, so we got that one snug but still able to move. And then we'll take this one out, spacer, bring that down, bolt, and tighten. Alright, so those are nice and tight, and remember when you're doing that, make sure that that little dimple lines up with the clamp space right there, so you know that your clutch lever is in the right spot. And you can see the spacer kind of like smushed out there a little bit, so I'll probably like trim that down. But overall, I'm much more pleased with that than the spacer not sitting flush and looking all janky. Alright, so now we just gotta take the mirror off and attach it right there. And you might be wondering why I took off the opposite side mirror, and that's because when you flip it, it's obviously opposite. So you're going to use the opposite side mirror, and it'll go in just like that. If you use that mirror, it would be pushed into the tank and not work. So we're just going to put that on with the hardware provided, aka this bolt right here. And then the thing that I just took out of it is actually a little block-off plate that goes right there to make everything look nice and clean. So we'll tighten that down as well. Oh, it's tight in there. How the hell am I supposed to do that? Can you only do it with an open-ended wrench? Because I don't have a 17mm open-ended. What the f? I can get it in place there, but I won't be able to get it back out, will I? That's the way to do it. Alright. Come on. Holy sh**. Alright, there we go. Stupid f***ing design. So let's sit on it and make sure that it's in the right position, I'd assume something like that. Yep. You can turn without it hitting the tank, so that should be good. I like that, so we'll tighten that down all the way. Oh, see, there's the secret. Take the thin part of the wrench, put it up through that space and over, and then bring it back. Freaking convoluted. Oh, now it won't even go over. What the f? There we go. Alright, that seems secure. Let's double check to make sure it's in a good spot. Yep, doesn't hit the tank. And use a 4mm to tighten down this little block off plate. And we are good for the one side. Dude, it looks so goofy having both mirrors on one side right now. Imagine that's how it actually was. You could just see super freaking well out of one side and couldn't see anything out of the other. Why is that so funny to me, dude? Alright, so now we just gotta repeat the process on the other side, and just like that, they are on and looking so good. Now, as for functionality and how well you can actually see behind you versus a stock way, that is yet to be determined, but it definitely looks pretty freaking sweet. I do find it funny though, because I feel like lots of the time when I do a clap transition, it's because it's for something that's supposed to be easy and boring that I'm not going to waste your time with, and it always ends up turning into more of a hassle than I expect, and that's exactly what happened this time. So for those of you who plan on installing these brackets yourself, which, by the way, link in the description, I will point out that they were much more of a pain in the ass than I expected, and if you plan on doing it yourself, I would line these mirrors up how you want them on the bracket before you attach them here, and then tighten them down all the way and then attach them at the clamps. Because honestly, I don't know if you can tell, there's like barely any room in here for a wrench to get in there, and it was even freaking worse on this side. If you look in there, there's like literally no space to get anything in there, especially between right there. Like you can tell nothing is getting in there. So I did it the same way as the other side and attached it at the clamp, realized that, and then had to take the whole thing off and tighten it down and then reattach it to the clamp. But after that added little extra step, everything is good to go and tightened down nice and secure and looking so freaking good. Now, I said that there were two things that we have to do, so what is the other one? Check these bad boys out. We got some matching valve stem caps for the bike. Shout out to Rob Bleetler, one of my Patreon members as well, for sending me these. Alright, so nice and easy. Twist this off. See, I always say nice and easy and then jinx it. Imagine the whole freaking like valve stem just breaks off and shoots air out. I would literally cry. Alright, numero uno and numero dos. Hell yeah, dude. Look at that little pop of orange on the wheels now. I said pop of orange, but it sounded like I said Papa Orange. Imagine that's what you guys start calling me, Papa Orange. Get it? Dude, this thing just looks so freaking good. Like, it is actually officially done now. I cannot get over it. Like, the orange looks so good, and honestly, something as simple as valve stem caps, you don't realize, like, just a little pop of orange down at the wheels ties it together because all the orange is up top. Man, it is just so crazy to think back on what this bike started out as and like what a piece of crap it looked like and how freaking good it looks now. The Patreon members voted on every single modification that we did to this thing, and it came together so freaking nice. You know what? This is making me a little emotional. Let's take a quick little trip down memory lane. And there she is, boys, in her final form, looking so freaking good. I always forget how insane this tank looks in the sun. Like, I really hope that it shows through via the video, but like, it's just so like pearlescent and freaking, I don't know, in some lights it's like deep orange, other lights you get hints of yellow. Man, this thing is so freaking sick. I want to keep it, but unfortunately I can't, because one of you guys has to win it. But before I tell you guys how you can win this bike, I have to give you a quick little backstory as to why we're at where we are right now. Because you would think that after this long transition from like this bike that was wrecked and just looked like crap all the way to this beautiful bike right now, that for the final shot it would be somewhere super nice, like the places that I've done before, on the bay or something, like somewhere scenic. So why am I in a freaking parking lot? And that's because this parking lot right behind me right over there is where I filmed one of the first videos that I ever made on YouTube, which is when I got my OG, my original Rebel 500. I had made like 2 videos with my Rebel 300, but the channel really didn't take off until I got my Rebel 500, and this is the parking lot where I filmed the entire thing, essentially, of the story of how I got my bike. So this parking lot, even though it just looks like some random parking lot, which it is, in actuality is like part of what set off this channel on the course that it's on now and led me to the point where I could A, give away that Rebel 500, and B, even be giving away this. So it's not just some boring little parking lot. It has a spot in my heart, and it should have a spot in yours too, because it could play a part in you winning this. Alright, now let's stop dragging it out. I know you're wondering, how do I win this thing? And the answer is a raffle. There's going to be 75 shots at you winning this, 75 entries into the raffle, and how you can enter into the raffle I will actually leave in the description below. And I'm going to do that for a few reasons. A, I don't want to leave out any key parts when I'm talking about it right now. I want to be able to type it out and make sure I have everything there. B, because there's been a lot of scammers on YouTube lately leaving fake comments saying, oh, you won, hit me up for this or hit me up for that. So I want to make it very, very, very clear. The only way to enter the raffle is via the instructions in the description. I will not comment below and say anything different. I won't reach out to you in any way, shape, or form. The only way that you can enter is via the description below. And once all 75 slots are full, I'm going to delete the description so that there's no way that you can see to enter and accidentally enter after it's full. So just to be clear, there are going to be 75 spots to enter this bike, but you will only know how to do it by reading the description below. I will not contact you in any way, shape, or form. You have to read the description below, read every single word of it, and it will tell you how to enter. And once the entries are full, I will delete the description so that nobody else can enter. If you have any questions at all about it, DM me on Instagram at life.of.burch, and do not send money to anybody for any reason other than what I put in the description. Hopefully I made that as clear as possible. And speaking of reaching out to me on Instagram, make sure that you're following my Instagram at life.of.burch, because that's where I'm going to be posting all of the updates on this. It's way easier on Instagram than it is on here to be able to post like up-to-the-minute updates as to how many spots are left, how we're going to do it, all that kind of stuff. So make sure to follow me on Instagram to stay up to date with everything. And then once all the spots are full, we're going to go live on here and pick the winners. There's going to be 2 cash winners, and 1 person is going to take the bike home. Oh, and dang it, I forgot to mention it, man. Alright, well now the surprise is kind of ruined. When I transitioned away from the walk down memory lane, I was going to be like, oh, do you guys notice anything different? I actually did a 3rd modification today, and then point out the Life of Birch sticker, but I totally forgot to. So, I don't know, maybe you guys noticed already, maybe you didn't, but the final touch was the honorary Life of Birch sticker on the side. Same sticker or same vinyl that I have on my Rebel 1100, and that is a walk down memory lane also, because these were only ever available to people who entered the last giveaway. So, ties everything together, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling. Thank you so much for watching the entire series and just coming along for this incredible journey of making this bike what it is today. Thank you so much to all the Patreon members who had a say in what this bike is. You guys built an incredible bike. Thank you so much for the support. If anybody else wants to join Patreon, make sure to check out patreon.com/lifeofburch. That's the #1 way that you can support me in a bigger and better way. But if you can't do that, that's totally fine. You can also support me by liking this video, commenting on this video, and sharing it with your friends. I'm out of here. Love you guys. Peace.
Oh, so basic. Hope you play this. Damn, I prayed it. Nice song, and I became this. Oh, souls fake it. Paid those placements. Fuck shit. And I'm still waiting on the brighter days. Been a minute, been rough many times more. And I'm kicking rocks to a sky of gray. Praying hard, talk to me before I'm done for.